never replace you. I'd never try. Nothing will ever erase you.
This is the temp space. This place is filled with stuff. I keep it next to the Naruto comics. I've got man get here by evolution or by creation. Reasoning from the scriptures. The harp of God. It's got some really, really, really out there things in it that are really obvious when you look at the very first page, okay? This says, proof conclusive that millions now living will never die. This one, the Truth Book, this is what made my family become Jehovah's Witnesses. This was the book that my mom got. So what I wanted to show you was this. This is the Bible I made. When I left, Crafted with Love by Ryan Sutter in July 2006. And I actually hand bound it myself. And my Bible included an essay called The Ethics of Belief by William Clifford. And then The Age of Reason by Thomas Paine. Humanist Manifestos. Article from Wired Magazine called Why the Future Doesn't Need Us. Then the Gospel According to Zen, the Jefferson Bible, which includes all the non-supernatural parts of the Gospels. The Dhammapada from Buddhism. The Book of Ecclesiastes. The Enuma Elish, which is Babylonian mythology. The Epic of Gilgamesh. Then the Books of Bokanon by Kurt Vonnegut, which is what I want read at my funeral. An article called Over 300 Proofs of God's Existence, which is sort of a joke. I put all of this in, and my thinking was I wanted to collect my own holy texts that were relevant to my life at the time, 2006. And so I did. I sewed it together and made a book. It was 4th of July weekend, so I had a long weekend. My girlfriend, future wife, Esther, she had been living in Brooklyn for the last 6 years. She wanted to show me Brooklyn. I'd never been to Brooklyn. And I was like, if we're going to Brooklyn, we're stopping by the Watchtower headquarters, right? Because I've never been. What I didn't know was my brother had broken a bone in his foot while helping somebody fix a fence. And they put a cast on his leg, and the cast was constricting. And he didn't feel very good, and he wanted to go get it taken care of, but he didn't have any health insurance because Jehovah's Witness, no education, works 3 shitty jobs, none of them have health insurance. The family didn't try to reach me while he was in the hospital. I went to my phone, I saw that I had like 1 million messages. It was a landline, you know, and I didn't want to check him because I had to go to work. So the phone rang, and I saw on the caller ID that it was Esther. And I answered it, and she's like bawling. And she's like, I don't know how to tell you this. Your brother died.
As of today, my voice sings alone. I have no more to say. My brother died this day. My heart is racked and torn. This hero has died, and I shall mourn.
So then I went to my parents' house, and my stepmom kicked me out. There were like 100 people there. I had to sit in the front yard. I wasn't allowed in the house. The nuclear gopher was in the basement. I stayed, and I said, I'll be good. I'll stay in the yard. Don't worry. And so my stepmom, Diana, she pulls me aside. She asks, don't you think it would be more dignified if you had a separate gathering at your own house? And I'm like, what? This is my house. I grew up here. Me and Rhett's bedroom is like, we shared that bedroom like our entire lives. Like, this is my dad, this is my other brother. It's like, you're kidding, right? And she literally went straight to, you know, there was a scientist who proved that creation is true and evolution is false. And you just don't want to believe because you have a bad heart. And I'm like, what? Wait, where is this coming from? I'm like, do you think I'm here to talk about evolution and creation? Do you think I'm here to debate religion? I just found out Rhett died 45 minutes ago. Like,
why do you think I'm here? And she started yelling at me and telling me that if I did pray, God wasn't listening because I had a bad heart, so he wouldn't listen to my prayers. And that I didn't belong there. And she literally drove me out of my house. And I went from the backyard through the house out to the front step, and she was following me and yelling at me. And I got to the front step and I saw that my mom had just got there, who's also an ex-witness, right? And like, my mom's not allowed there either, but she came there because that's where she raised her son. So I stopped and I turned around and I fucking apologized to her. I apologized to the woman who kicked me out of the house. I said, I'm sorry if me being here is upsetting. And I'm sorry if you feel that this is intrusive. And I promise that I will stay in the front yard and stay away from everybody. And I won't talk to anybody about anything.
When Ryan's brother died, and Ryan was disfellowshipped at the time, he went to the funeral. They told him he had to sit outside until the funeral started. And he sat out there with the other disfellowshipped people. And one of them leaned over to him and said, "The people in that building love us. They've just been taught an incredibly stupid way to show it." It was his own brother's funeral. Your entire social sphere, everyone's pointing at you going like, well, you sinned against Jehovah, and you're making this so hard on us. I can't believe you did that. And they truly believe that. I don't think these are evil people, but that's how they see the world. And so all you've got is this completely lonely person who feels like they are the guiltiest, shittiest person on earth, and that they've hurt everyone they ever loved, and that God's not even really listening to them.
The death of Rhett and Ryan being there, I know that it made those of us who have left the religion and have come back to talk about the topic, all of us were very uncomfortable with how comfortable other people were with being pissed off. They thought that Ryan being at his brother's funeral was an act of audacity, was regarded as an act of audacity. How selfish. Why can't he just leave us alone? It's his brother's funeral. That moment was just what? No, that's not loving. This is his brother, He has human feelings. Even if I believe that he's probably going to die in Armageddon, I'm not happy about it. And I'm not happy to see anybody that I know and have loved and still did love suffering like that. It just rang as really selfish. Why isn't he thinking about us? Ryan knew him better than anyone else in the world.
When the funeral happened, it was at a big Kingdom Hall, one of those ones that opens up into a double hall for assemblies kind of thing, and I can't remember where it's located, but Rhett had gone to 10 different congregations over the years, and everybody loved him. He was just so lovable. And so everybody came to his funeral. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. It was the size of a circuit assembly.
How many people are we talking about?
1,200, maybe 15.
Wow.
None of them talked to me. There were people in the parking lot was overflowing with people. Most of these people I had known for decades. Didn't even speak to me.
He had lost the right to go to his own brother's funeral because he disagreed with the Jehovah's Witnesses about the ancient literature.
voice on the other end, sounding empty as heaven.
After I left the Witnesses and reconnected with them, Cindy and Eric had gotten together and started collaborating. So you have Eric, one of the most talented structural songwriters that I know. He's really good at knowing what a song needs when to make it just really compelling. Paired up with one of the most gifted vocalists and melody writers that I had ever met. They make this record in their basement, decide that they want to start playing it out. I happen to be there, enlisted a couple of different drummers to take this shit show on the road type of thing. And it was an awful lot of fun. And we got to get on stage again. And the getting back on stage and playing with Eric and Cindy especially, like playing with them has been absolutely the highlight of my musical everything. Yeah, super grateful that I've gotten to play with them, but also that that thing bridged the gap between before and after. And the name of that band was High TV.
Once I left, and then Chad left 3 to 4 years later, and we moved back from Seattle to Minneapolis, then Eric and I took some of the songs that we wrote back at that point when we were still part of Nuclear Gopher. We took that and made it into 2 singles for the band High TV. It wasn't just my idea anymore, it was me and Eric's deal, and then Chad and our friend Peter joined, and it made the sound even that much better.